Born in icy lands and harsh frozen mountains, a people emerged whom the world would later come to know as the Vikings. These were not ordinary men, but a storm rising from the sea, feared by all, ruthless and unstoppable in battle. Their long, wooden ships sliced through silent waves as distant coastal villages slept, unaware of the approaching doom. Nighttime coastal villages lay quiet, torches dimly glowing, moonlight reflecting on the water, tension building, Vikings moving stealthily. Toward the shore, swords flashed, axes swung heavy, and shields were tightly gripped in their hands, their hearts filled only with the desire for loot and blood. The Vikings believed dying in battle brought honor. For them, death in war was the highest form of glory. This belief erased all fear from their hearts. Even death itself became powerless before their courage. Attacks came suddenly, with no warning or sign, and in mere moments villages were filled with screams and chaos. Monasteries and holy sites became the first targets for their lay gold and riches, unprotected and vulnerable.
Ow.
Church bells rang frantically as villagers fled in terror, while Vikings smashed and looted, firelight reflecting in their fierce eyes. Fires consumed homes, wooden walls collapsed, and villages that thrived yesterday became silent ruins by nightfall. Slowly, fear spread across the European coastlines, every town trembling at the thought of approaching ships. England became the Vikings' largest and most frequent target. Time and again, they struck without mercy or hesitation. No woman was safe, no child could hide, and not even soldiers could withstand their relentless assault. Yet the Vikings did not only raid and return, they began to settle and establish control over the land. They built strongholds and longhouses, imposing their laws where strength, skill, and the sword ruled supreme. During this era, legendary leaders like Ragnar arose, whose very name struck terror into the hearts of enemies. In full battle, swords clashed and shields shattered, every warrior fighting with unmatched ferocity and skill. Close-ups of a Viking's eyes revealed burning madness, and even without fighting, the enemy's courage faltered. For them, war was not mere combat or survival. It was a test of honor, pride, and unbreakable will. The sea was their path, and their sanctuary, the ship itself, their home and fortress alike. Wherever the Viking banner appeared on the horizon, destruction and fear followed in its wake. From France to Ireland and Scotland's coasts, everywhere their stories of terror spread far and wide. At the mere mention of Vikings, people abandoned homes, villages emptied, and families fled into the forests. Time passed, seasons changed, yet their fear endured. The legend of their raids remained alive for generations. Some Vikings eventually settled, choosing land over battle, yet they never forgot their heritage of conquest and blood. But the ruins and burned towns remained as reminders, their stories of fire and chaos living on forever. The clash of swords still echoes in history today as if the battles happened just moments ago. Vikings were not only ruthless warriors, they were also extraordinary sailors and fearless explorers. They mastered the seas, navigating through storms and darkness, reaching distant lands far beyond their homelands. Yet wherever their longships cast a shadow on the shore, fear and silence would immediately descend upon the land. This era knew no mercy or compassion. It was an age defined by power, blood, and might. Even centuries later, the name Vikings inspires awe, and a chill runs down the spine of anyone who hears it. They came, they fought, they burned, and they conquered, leaving their mark on history and legend alike. The death that came from the sea was silent yet certain, and it bore the unmistakable name of the Vikings. Swords, axes, and blood defined their existence. This was their identity, feared and respected alike. Wherever Vikings went, only silence and ruins remained, the towns they touched forever changed by their presence. This was the savage rise of the Vikings, a tale of terror, a history of conquest that can never be forgotten.